Welcome. In this video, we will be discussing about the National Hydrogen Mission. Now, this is something which has been announced in the budget recently, and the overall draft will come in the upcoming weeks. But let's just quickly understand what this National Hydrogen Mission will try to achieve, and also will try to understand what kind of hydrogen it is going to focus on. And in detail, we will also discuss about how the fuel cell works. So this is going to be the agenda for this video. So without much delay, let's start. So in October, Delhi became the first Indian city to operate buses on hydrogen spiked compressed natural gas, or what is known as HCNG, in a 6-month pilot based project. What does it basically mean? So you must have seen that the CNG, compressed natural gas, has become the used one in the Delhi capital. Like all the buses and everything was running on CNG over here. In the October last year itself, the Delhi government also introduced the hydrogen spiked CNG also, where the hydrogen content would be more. Then there are other developments also. For an example, NTPC, which is a power PSU, is operating a pilot to run 10 hydrogen cell fuel based electric buses and fuel cell electric cars in Leh and Delhi. So Delhi and Leh, two places the NTPC has selected, and it has started running 10 hydrogen fuel based electric buses. So hydrogen fuel based buses as well as car has been started on a pilot basis by the NTPC. Then IOC, Indian Oil Corporation, is also planning to set up dedicated unit to produce hydrogen to run buses at its R&D center at Faridabad. So these are the various developments which have already started to happening. So CNG has started on pilot basis in Delhi. Then on pilot basis, NTPC has also started buses which have hydrogen fuel cell, and also cars, and IOC also have started the hydrogen production, and it is going to run the buses from that in the Faridabad. So these are the major developments which has happened recently. Now let's move forward and understand what is hydrogen and some of its type. So the sources and process by which hydrogen is derived are characterized by the color tab. So basically there are various colors which are associated, and that's how the hydrogen would be classified for its use. So hydrogen produced from the fossil fuel is called grey hydrogen. This constitutes the bulk of the hydrogen produced today. So as of today, the maximum hydrogen which we see is from the fossil fuel burning only. And what is the color code that has been assigned to it? It is the grey hydrogen. So you can understand grayish is mostly related to pollution, grey cloud pollution. So in that regard, just try to understand grey hydrogen is related to the fossil fuel burning. Then hydrogen generated from fossil fuels with carbon capture and storage option is called the blue hydrogen. Now the one in which there is an option to store the carbon. So in that regard, the fossil fuel where they have the option for carbon storage, when hydrogen is generated from that particular process, that is known as the blue hydrogen. So blue hydrogen is related to fossil fuel only, but over here you have the option where the carbon is stored. So carbon store or carbon capture and storage option is available in the case of blue hydrogen. Then you have the hydrogen generated entirely from the renewable power sources, and that is called the green hydrogen. For an example, from the water, from the hydropower electricity, at that time the hydrogen which is being formed, that will be known as your green hydrogen. So these are the color code which is associated. So I hope you have understood. Green, again, green is associated with environment friendly. So this is the one which is going to come up from the renewable sources. Blue is the one which is kind of, you can consider intermediary, where it is still coming from the fossil fuel, but there are option of carbon storage and carbon capture, which makes it more environment friendly, and hence it's color coded as blue. And the gray is the one which is, and in fact that is the highest produced as of today, that is directly coming from the fossil fuel processes. So these are the three colors you should remember. Now let's just move forward and try to understand why this National Hydrogen Mission, which India is going to very quickly draft, in that why the India is trying to focus on green hydrogen. So there are benefits associated with it. For an example, it is a clean burning molecule which can decarbonize a range of sectors including iron and steel, chemicals and transportation. So it is a clean burning molecule, which means that it will not generate lot of greenhouse gases, and it will be a clean way to go ahead and produce energy. Renewable energy that cannot be stored or used by the it can be channeled to produce hydrogen. Now this is also thing, not all kind of renewable energy would be able to stored or used. So that the one which is like extra production, that will could be channeled for the production of hydrogen. So it's more along the line of optimizing use of the renewable energy also. India's electricity grid is predominantly coal based. Now, this is the reality, even with all the things India is trying to do under the Paris Agreement INDC, is still as of today, it is predominantly coal and will continue to do so for some decades now, thus negating the collateral benefits from a large scale EV push. Now, why electric vehicle push can be counterproductive? Because for the electric vehicle, what you need is electricity. But how the electricity is produced in India is mostly coal based. So at the end of the day, there is a question of the how the it is going to reduce the pollution or reduce the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere at the end of the day when the electricity is produced is coming from the coal. Now electric vehicles makes more sense in countries like Norway, where they have the electricity coming from the renewable sources, like they have the more than 90% of their electricity is from hydroelectric power plants. So in that regard, it makes more sense for countries like Norway. But for India, the EVs, even though they could reduce the air pollution, the overall concept of it where the electricity would be used and electricity is coming from the coal based power plant does not make much sense. Hydrogen vehicles can be specifically effective in the long haul trucking and hard to electrify sectors such as shipping and the long haul air travel. Now again, hydrogen vehicles could be more used for the shipping industry, for the long haul air travel, where the electric vehicles will not as such of help. So these are the ideas, or these are the reason why the budget this year has announced the national hydrogen mission. So just remember, these are the causes, or these are the reasons why these missions are announced. Okay. Now let's move forward and quickly see how the fuel cell works. So the idea behind using the hydrogen is to use the fuel cell. The hydrogen would be used in a fuel cell, and that is how the electricity would be produced. So hydrogen is a energy carrier and not a source of energy. Now this is a very important point. This is the basic understanding you should have, that it is not hydrogen which is producing energy, it is the one which carries the energy. So source has to be something else. Hydrogen fuel must be transformed into electricity by a device called fuel cell stack before it could be used to power a truck or a car. In that regard, it's like what is basically used is your fuel cell stack. That is the one which will convert the hydrogen into a form of electric current, and that will be used for the powering up of car or truck or such vehicles. A fuel cell converts chemical energy into electrical energy using oxidizing agents through an oxidation reduction reaction. Now these are the terms you should remember. So first of all, what a fuel cell will does, it will convert the chemical energy into electrical energy. So this is something you should remember. Chemical energy is getting converted into electric energy, and through what? It is through the oxidation and reduction reaction. Oxidation reduction reaction are the one which will convert the chemical energy into the electric energy, and this is the major functioning of the fuel cell. This is how the fuel cell will be able to generate electricity. Fuel cell based vehicle most commonly combine hydrogen and oxygen to produce electricity to power the electric motor on board. So this is majorly what happen. It is generally hydrogen and oxygen which gets converted, and that is how the electricity is produced. Hydrogen fuel cell cars have a zero carbon footprint because no carbon is released in the process of using hydrogen fuel cell cars. So that mostly means it is environmental friendly. Hydrogen is about 2 to 3 times as efficient as burning petrol, because an electric chemical reaction is much more efficient than combustion. So because in petrol and diesel we know there is a process of combustion involved which generates the power for the engine to power up, but in the case of hydrogen it is more efficient. Why? Because chemical to electric energy conversion is way more efficient as compared to the process of combustion itself. So this is the working of fuel cell, and that is why again it is something which has been proposed or promoted. Now look at it diagrammatically also how the process is working. So in first step what happened, hydrogen atoms enter the anode. So this is the fuel cell, we have anode and we have cathode over here. So hydrogen will enter the anode area. The atoms are stripped of their electrons in the anode. So what happened, the hydrogen atom which has reached the anode, now it will be removed of its electrons. So if you see over here, this is where the electrons goes. The positively charged protons pass through the membrane to the cathode, and the negatively charged electrons are forced through a circuit generating electricity. So this is what happened. Over here in atom, the electrons will be stripped off. They will move outside in the external circuit. Over here you can see, while the positively charged proton would move towards the cathode. So this area will have the positively charged protons. After that, what will happen after passing through the circuit? So this electronic, they are passing through the circuits. The electrons combine with the protons and oxygen from the air to generate the fuel cell byproducts, water and heat. So this particular electrons and protons, they will combine towards the cathode side, and it will mix with the moisture present in the air, oxygen present in the air, and will produce the byproducts which are heat and water. So this is how your general fuel cell will work. So just remember, the hydrogen reached from the anode side, the anode through reaction will move out the electrons which are the one which are responsible for producing electricity current. These electrons will again meet with protons at the cathode side and will generate the byproducts which are water and heat. So this is the simple process of how the fuel cell works. So this is important again from your GS paper 3. There is a topic of science and tech. So in that regard, working of this is important. Apart from that, for environment also this particular topic is important, because how the vehicular population could be reduced. So using hydrogen fuel cell cars or electric vehicle could be one of the options. So just try to connect all the dots and try to recollect whatever we have studied in this video. So if you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.